Track my direction with stars, and they prove the currents will blow me back to the shore, my stars. So I can't deny I've a long way to go, to sink, to swim, or to float. Each has a Lord, it's true, but the only way forward I know is the one that's hardest to do. Why can't I plant my feet stand in the sand, some solid land? Thinking of Soria's like reading the epilogue of my favorite book, or sitting top a rocket and seeing the earth become a marble as you look. Thinking of her's not a choice now, it mostly comes when I sleep. If she's absent, I almost rejoice now, but only while starting to read. Her name's to blame for my joy and why I'm insane. And one letter is still my fetter, and I'm a debtor while I wait. Soria, if you're on, please do respond. It's hardest when you're gone, but not yet gone. Won't you say hello, 'cause I miss you too much, and I see you too little nowadays. Won't you take hold of my hand and float in the ocean with me, so we don't drift away while we sleep? Please leave dreams behind, get out of my mind and into reality, just like the one we once designed. And we won't have to worry about the sea, the waves would calm down every time your sweet tired smile would meet mine. Is it weird that I recall every offhand word you'd sigh, waiting for the car to come, bring you to the ocean side? So excited for a new, while I'm glad you'd wait with me. Do you remember that dried up well? We had no idea why it stood. Looking in where there you fell, I pulled you out with just a piece of wood. Well, I think it was there to say that you are always safe with me. Now maybe I was not meant to make a weary record of those upside down smiles you sent, only to say it's just a joke. But sometimes words are only meant to keep the meaning away from me. Maybe its significance wasn't at all in itself, but in all that which it hid, the corner of your bedroom shelf, which I was never meant to check to see what you'd never say with me. Now it's my turn to hide away, but no, I only do it since the envelope left on your train is still waiting to be opened. And if you do, it says one thing: to please, only to please, stay with me. Years from now, cut it open, you'll see it reads just to please, stay with me. The church's shoes are worn to rags. Took 1,001 steps, took 1,000 back. Our cars all broke down by the desert road. When Jane Grey died, your brother asks, why do we dig while wearing black? Are we trying to hide from the bones below? The moon's a crescent, a lovely shape, makes me see the dark part. The movie's silent, a lovely space, makes me forget my ears don't work. Set your heart toward the highway, for the Ancient of Days has gone away. The Scarecrow looks so nobly dressed, patiently waiting for his rest. When the wind comes to knock him down, the crows look so much like a pope. They're welcoming those with not to go, making a feast out of battlegrounds. I saw a communicant so sick of marrow, he was spitting all the wafers out. But the priest replied, swallow your sorrow, all the holiest knees are broken down. You could save your wife from Hades now. Set your heart toward the highway, for the Ancient of Days has gone away. The coroner still never won a bet. He's not sure if it's a curse or test, and he wants to win once before going insane. She sat beside him and smiled wide, and asked him, how would you like to die? With a sigh, a whimper, or a baying. With an open heart and a slide guitar, the coroner tries to get his part. In a ghosty town, her weed blows down the road, and I ask God if we could restart. Set your heart toward the highway, for the Ancient of Days has gone away. The valley of the dead shall be holy, once they're buried and then only. House is full, the workhouse had doors bolted close. The dog went his own way, couldn't find a good sleeping pose. The twig tent gives up, embraces the snow. Now the walk home wouldn't bother if only he had somewhere to go. With half-frozen eyes, he whispers to smooth over thoughts. Your life is a prize I had won, then wished I forgot. And cursing his clothes, he says to her ghost, we gained in drops, lost in buckets, I didn't realize you had somewhere to go. Trademark of quality on the matchbox is only a pretense. He dropped them in the frost and he's got no way to make them a friend again. The deciduous trees drop leaves like they know. This body must be buried, but it's got nowhere to go. A man stares out at the canyon he'd be crossing. If only the other side was a place to be. my dear, I want to hear every second pass. I want this memory so tight you couldn't slip a knife through the cracks, where darkness covered the past, 'cause it all came too fast. And as I am taken to shake off the country's fate, please don't watch too close as we leave the coast for the waves. I guess just glance and wait, and then walk away. But remember warm September and all our time skipping those stones over the sea. And funny, I guess it never came to mind how one day that might be me. But though I go flying as they're tying a millstone around my neck, though I'm not certain, I'm determined to bring you something good right back. I'm searching for friends, but no stars shaking my hand yet. I'm just turning at sounds with a lantern around my neck, and it's got no candle lit. The river wet the wick, and I found an old journal, said hang this eternal war. But heaven sure likes to put steep prices on its stores, and peace never comes before we beat plowshares into swords. But remember warm September and all our time skipping those stones over the sea. Funny, I guess it never came to mind how one day that might be me. Though I go flying as they're tying a gravestone around my neck, though I'm not certain, I'm determined to bring you something good right back, right back, right back, back. I'll try not to follow the train that's been hollowed out, to make extra room for the bodies all strewn about, to carry the soldiers south, sleeping on their shields. And if I'm torn asunder and you wonder where I went wrong, just please do remember my tender hands aren't that strong, just good at holding on, if you're holding on to. all stripped down bare by lightning. Then she called to me, and I heard it echo on the valley, on court's walls. I'd never lose her again, but my head spoke out in a way I can't explain. Feels like sharing a secret to say it. I got this frame like I never earned my name. Gotta prove I am who I'm saying. I vainly tried to tell me some kindly words like I'm free, and I come back, then took inside of the bodies of water unstirred, keeping home and leaving no tracks. Lakes reflect 1,000 suns if you look at the right time, and 1,000 faces hold 1,000 tongues, but I just wish one of them would not tell a lie. And I fell into the crowd since I promised to keep by your side. No trail, but I can follow these horseshoe tracks and supplement my income with moonshine sales. I can make in abandoned shacks, but I gotta say, it's been hard since I've been gone. I met someone headed to the opposite end of the one-way road I was hiking. Don't know who is wrong, but we got so close when we passed each other by. I hid my lips as I looked across the plain and stepped in the corpse of a rose bush. Then I heard the echoes calling out again. Man, she really believed who I said I was. 1,000 lakes reflect 1,000 suns if you look at the right time, and 1,000 faces hold 1,000 tongues, but I just wish one of them would not tell a lie. And I realized that I missed her. She was right there, still by my side. Well, my wound is a faucet. It's worse than I thought it at first. And the more that I treat it, the more that I see how it's hurt. Water and blood said I'm not coming from my side. Made me think of Jesus, how I could sure use his help tonight. My darling's illusions, some devil's abusing her minds, and toasting her senses, and freezing her senseless and kind. Viewing her throes, her inside I know is not right. Made me think of the reaper, how I hope I can keep her tonight. When she left, it was slowly, the soreness it grows in my aches. I still think you're kindly. When it hurts, it reminds me of her strength. Ain't nothing the same, ain't nothing to say loud and bright. Made me think of flying, how I hope that it's upwards tonight. The preacher speaks low into the window we opened for air. Maybe out by the pasture, forget-me-nots will ask for the prayer. Liberty's price is leaving this life sounding mine. Think of me, Lord, remember me for good tonight. This old-time demon, he keeps me humble. I gave my thanks and reached out to shake hands, paid an extra quarter for the trouble. I've been bit 3 times by the same horsefly, but no one cares, I'm left to my despair. I'm a stranger, and that's my fault, and theirs. At the bonfire, a man brought all his clock wires. His wife died giving light to his baby girl's eyes. Now time's just another thing passing him by. He says it feels like stopping a sunset, grabbing its race saying come back. I'm not done with you yet. It feels like telling a story where everyone finds it boring, and I'm not done with you yet. Not quite yet. The old widower hides all the pictures. Deep calls to deep in every memory, so it makes him lonely when he sees her. The aspen trees, in fear and trembling, give up the June leaves red as the wound bleeds, coming from the soldier who's waiting and waiting. Tomorrow we meet war, clean out the threshing floor, go hide in the cabin if something happens. No, I always liked getting to know you more. And this war, it feels like stopping a sunset, grabbing its rays saying come back. I'm not done with you yet. It feels like telling a story, but everyone finds it boring, and I'm not done with you yet. Not quite yet. Is a funny thing. Some days you find places, discover ancient doors, and you feel like your age jumps 1,000,000 years or more, and there is all you've come to know. But then you turn the skeleton key and it clicks and it reveals a world where even dreams can't believe it's real. And you think, wait a sec, I'm not older, I've been thrown back to being born. Here I am, a man whose life is not like one story's bookends, and just like life unfolding, where no comparison makes sense. And meaning is so strange. A star tells gravity you win, I concede. And then she winks at an autumn leaf hanging on the tree and says only you could understand. And then she turns around her way to live among the skies. And now that leaf looks out each night, wipes tears from his eyes, and says my life's compression has turned me to a diamond. Here I am, a soul in search of someone who'd hear my night thoughts and know my secret struggles, and how to say, hold on. Here I am, a lyric looking for eyes who'd read me and say, I find those words so fitting, I'm quite fond of all their display. And names confuse me. Some days you'd like yours dangling from your neck, and other days it's locked away in a keyless basement chest. It doesn't rhyme, but both have meaning. And age, don't get me started about age. I've forgotten mine and I can't tell yours. And every time I think about it, I only forget more. Yet here I am, here I am, here I am, here I am, a name who's waiting for a pen who'd spell me correct, a lyric looking for eyes who'd read me and reflect, a soul in search of someone who'd hear my night thoughts and know it all. Someone who would only understand. Here I am. There's a horse caught by the waves, but getting some rest he refuses. The thought that he's failed, for he gave his best as another horse runs fast, not caught in the waves, he's free, but sore and sad as his friends get further away. There's a boy barely waving. This time he's afraid if he speaks too early, she'll just be staring with nothing to say, and the girl is barely standing, and her dress is soaked as she walks to shore. She'll be laughing and dripping the entire way home. All buried and called blessings, and I successfully recorded these things over the course of years. You're a willow voice who can only be heard in the quiet. You bend neath the noise as you're whispering fragile inquirings like, do you remember me as being a fortune or fine, and would another have seen a different fate than mine? I heard you had crashed, I said finally, then I cried myself to sleep. We're all buried and called blessings, and I successfully recorded these things